Well, hey there, idiots. Welcome back to Observant. In today's video, we're going to be analyzing, reacting to the nonverbal communication during an animated show movie that has taken the world by storm. It's K-pop Demon Hunters. Let's go ahead and roll that intro. This movie is likely my favorite animated movie of the past couple years. It reminds me heavily of the Spider-Man series of Into the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, things like that. And I don't know, for lack of a better term, I really appreciate that movie. And turns out a lot of people also appreciate that movie, not only one, because the animation and the storyline, but because the music in it, it's good. It's a good time. I have been listening to the album on repeat for a while now, so if you haven't watched the movie, maybe give it a check. Today will probably involve a little bit of like some spoilers and stuff in the movie. I tried to not select anything that's super quintessential or crucial to the plot of the movie, but it's still in there, so just be warned. All of that being said, I could just gush on about this movie for a while, but instead, I'm going to go ahead and start looking at some of the animation techniques used for the nonverbal communication in the movie, talking about why it works, where it has some shortcomings, very few, but I think that's enough of the disclaimers and stuff. Let's go ahead and go.
Okay, this is our biggest show yet.
The most songs.
The most moves.
Which means the most carb loading.
For the fans!
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and start off here. So this movie is very fun. It's a good time all the way around. It was designed for kids, according to Netflix, but I am a firm believer that it is beneficial to just about everybody to watch. It's a good, entertaining time regardless. So starting off here at the very beginning with the main trio here, what I'm noticing about the animation style is that there's a lot of stagnation in the cheeks area. You could see some movement in there, but it's not as fluid and as soft as what you would see on a normal human's face. There's a couple possible reasons for that, not the least of which is that it could have just saved them a little bit of time. Instead of trying to go in and dissect every single muscle movement and blah, blah, blah. For this animation, they just wanted to save some time and present what was the most necessitated for that specific scene or emotion that they're going for in that time. The other possibility is that maybe it's a stylistic one. They want the characters to look this specific way for this specific shot because of an emotional drive to it. Not super certain on that front, but non-verbally speaking, already we're seeing a little bit of a lack of activity in the muscular areas in the cheeks here. But we're going to get to some parts of the animation that I really did adore how they did this, because it not only is an amplification of the natural nonverbal representation of emotions and various emotional states, but it also is a callback to some of the older, earlier versions of cartoons with the wibbly-wobbly kind of animation style that does not stick to reality, but is more of an amplification thereof. It's really interesting, and we're going to get to it. We already saw a little brief blip of it. Let's watch.
Yeah, I need like 10,000 calories to get through the choreo. 1,000%. A gajillion percent.
Man, that's not even a real number.
It is for our fans. Our fans deserve the best.
Just that little tiny compilation of things there was so much that happened with the nonverbal communication of their faces alone as they're going through and eating this delicious smorgasbord of food that they have in front of them. But there's moments of where they will stray from the natural resting state of their nonverbal communication, of their physiology in general, and then they pop over into this more hyper-cartoonized, again, wibbly-wobbly style of animation that amplifies the emotion from before. If you watched my Snow White analysis before, part of the psychology behind musicals is that when an emotion cannot carry you far enough in the normal speaking or interaction with somebody, that's when a person or a character is supposed to burst into song within a musical. The music carries the emotion further. This is also partially a musical, but it doesn't rely exclusively on the musical side of things to carry that emotion further. They also rely on the animation side of things. So you could see the portion where she has pointy teeth and then it switches into a more cute animation style after that. And this animation flexibility makes it to where we can sense that emotion and that energy much more prevalently than if they had burst into a song or if it was just spoken of and animated in a more realistic tone than what they have done there. This entire video is probably just going to be me fangirling over this movie a little bit, but I guess you'll just have to deal with that.
Okay, time for our pregame ramen.
Happy fans, happy
moon.
Wait, there's no water in these.
Excuse me, miss?
Yes, Miss Hunter Hicks?
We asked for hot water, like...
Right away. You're welcome. Arrivederci. Goodbye.
Okay.
Hi, Bobby.
They're going to revisit it here in a second, but when the stewardess is dumping hot coffee into the flour that kills the flour, what her face is doing is important. And if you're just watching the movie, it makes sense. They're supposed to seem a little bit weird, but if you're the animator, you have to be very intentional about what you're presenting to the audience to make them feel that something's off. So what they're basing this off of is that concept of a desynchronized nonverbal smile, where a smile doesn't correctly reach the eyes. It's on the bottom half while the upper half maintains a different emotion. So on the bottom half of the stewardess's smile, we see a smile. It's a little tense and it's a little tight. Again, very intentionally done by the animators. But then on the upper half, that smile is not reflected. It's not reaching her eyes. They did not animate any of the crinkling or movement around her eyes that would be reflected in a normal smile. Instead, she maintains a wide eye, eyebrows raised, and lightly concerned or perhaps fearful or nervous expression on the upper half while trying to do that smile on the bottom half. And to us as the audience, we see it as, all that feels weird. Something's wrong with that person. And sure enough, it is. Let's watch.
Bobby.
Yeah, hi. What are you doing?
About to eat our pre-show ramen.
Pre-show? What about the show? Hey, that's my phone.
We love you too.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yo, I just got this.
Sick.
Give me that. Why are you so late?
Late?
50.
I love this crying face scene because it's that amplified animation to really send home the emotional state of what they're feeling. But with that animation in and of itself, while still cute, it's still nestling within the overall general style of the movie itself. Nobody feels very hyper attractive when they're legitimately sobbing. And so the attractive features, the symmetry and the spacing of their facial features that exist beforehand are wiped away to be replaced with this full facial feature crying expression that they have here. And I feel like that's just an excellent amplification of what happens in real life. When a person is genuinely crying and they're not hyper aware of what they're looking like, it's called ugly crying for a reason. They do so stylistically here, but it is a reflection of what happens in real life nonverbal communication as well. Again, just adding richness to the storyline and to the characters themselves without it having to be based off a dialogue or scene setting or anything along those lines. It's based simply off the movement of their face. It's really well done.
Oh, I just got this.
Sick.
Give me that. Why are you so late?
Late?
50,000 fans are waiting for you. They make cute signs and everything. How can you be late? Oh, I wish
Keep your
you
shirt
were
on,
here.
Bobby. We'll be there in 3.
Oh, I didn't even get to finish my ramyun.
Why do they always interrupt our snacking? Excuse me.
Please take your seat.
Yeah, we don't have time. You're a demon, right?
Oh, what do you mean?
You're smiling all weird, watering plants with coffee, and those guys? Come on.
Oh, we were just...
Oh, look. Patterns.
Oh, these? These are just...
The rest of you can come out. We're in a hurry.
Oh, you got the patterns. Now you gotta die.
The only ones dying tonight are your... I said, the only ones dying tonight are your...
I'm sorry. What?
Your fans! We're gonna eat your fans!
No, thank you.
No.
Not our fans.
When you mess with our fans...
We need to make it hurt.
I can't. I had to cut it off. I'm sorry. I had to cut it off for the sake of maintaining copyright, which this is through Netflix, so I'm almost positive that this is going to be fully demonetized anyway. So this is probably going to be a donated video to you. I hope you're enjoying. But with this, I hated every moment that I had to take out the music because, again, the music in this entire movie is top tier. And this is a refreshing twist for me because so often what I've been finding recently with any of the animated films that have been coming out, it's either one, unoriginal. It's like a remake of something or a remake of a remake of a remake. Unoriginal, nothing exciting about it. Or if it is original, it's flat. There's not a lot of engagement to it. You watch it and you're like, I don't really understand why I should care about these characters. I don't feel emotively connected to them. The music is only subpar. The animation is present, but not amazing. And this movie does such a good job at flying in the face of all of that with a very solid message of the movie itself, and then the animation style along with that only supports that message and richens it, and then the music is just a beautiful, delicious icing on the top. It's all the way around a very good time.
Huh?
Rubinim. Sit. You need no introduction. So, a problem with your voice.
Yes, so we need one of your awesome tonics. Something that will work super fast.
Okay, let me see. In order to heal a part, we must understand the whole. I see. No.
Wow, just the over-the-top fluidity of their facial expressions. Nobody's eyes get that big, but for the sake of the scene, it adds the emotion and the richness to it, and it is based off of, again, grounded, tangible, nonverbal communication in and of itself. This scene in general with this doctor man is fascinating. What he's doing in this, which we'll talk about it afterwards as well, but what he does throughout this scene is he uses a technique called cold reading. Mentalists and faux psychics, they use something called cold reading, and that's where you use things called Barnum statements, which are general statements that sound very specific, and then they tailor it loosely to a person themselves based off of logical processing and some other general factors of demographics that you can kind of work with. So he's going to start using that here. These are K-pop stars. They sing a lot, and they're going to have some complexities around that. So he's going to use a cold reading technique that makes it seem like he has some extra knowledge. He's this guru kind of medicine man in this show, and he's not, which you'll see, but he's using a very grounded, real technique in psychiatry and mentalism that allows people to believe that the person performing the cold read has some sort of supernatural or extra sensitivity to certain information that they're able to pick up on. It's a super fascinating skill, and this movie does a pretty good nod at that, so let's watch it.
No, actually I don't see. Very strange. You have lots of walls up.
Whoa, he's so good, right?
So many walls.
Walls? I don't have walls.
Yeah, you do. He is kind of good.
I'm just trying to stay focused.
Focus is good. But focusing on one part leads to ignoring other parts, making you separated, isolated.
Ooh, emotionally closed off?
Yes.
She's also a workaholic, doesn't know how to relax.
I know how to relax.
I bet she refuses to go to the bathhouse with you.
Oh my gosh, yes!
How did you even...
Dude, we've been trying to take her to the bathhouse
Forever.
How is this helpful?
It's helping me a lot.
Whoa, I can't believe you got all that wisdom just from looking at her.
All right, so through that little scene that's there, he pulls off what seems to be some fairly specific information from Rumi in this, but what he's really doing is throwing out generalities and then relying on those generalities to create a little bit of a hook for the people that he's interacting with. And fortunately, Rumi's friends are feeding into that read that he's doing there. So he'll say something pretty generic, like, oh, I sense that you have some walls. Everybody has walls. Of course, everybody has walls. But if you're a star, you're in front of a lot of people, you're able to assume as the general observer that that person, the person up in front, will have probably a little bit more strict of walls and a few more walls because of the insecurity around that. So he's able to play that into there, and the friends then back it up of being like, oh, well, there's this and this and this. And then he can just rely on their information of being like, of course, that's what I was saying. He didn't say that. They provided that information, but he can claim that as his own information that he drew out just by looking at her. Those are the techniques that are being used. They're based in real life techniques that genuinely do work, and if used nefariously, will genuinely fool people and can genuinely take advantage of people, which he ends up doing here, but there's still more scenes to be able to go off of, and he'll use these same techniques for just about everybody.
I see.
Wait, why are you looking at me?
Eagerness to please. Maybe a little too eager.
What? I'm not like that. You guys would tell me if I was really like that, right?
I see.
So for hers, the reason that he's able to pull that out immediately is because she has been consistently piping in, "See, isn't this great?" or "ah ha ha ha," and very supportive, very vocally supportive. So when he turns his attention to her, he knows that this person that is compensating at this point, even vocally and energetically, she's likely trying to please. And that is another root fear or insecurity in a lot of people, is people pleasing. So if she's already falling into that line with a stranger present, fall into that need to please and impress and show that they did well, then he can rely on that slight tell to amplify and kind of embellish off of that. And again, the friends chime in again, making it seem like he has even just a little bit more extra knowledge, maybe supernatural, maybe hyper observant, and it's really not. He's good with wordplay, and that's about the max of what we're seeing here. And then we get to this little last bit here, and it's a classic thing as well. Let's see.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, how does this...
So in those areas, that would represent the cynical, the cynicism that people can have going into these things. She's not buying into his play acting that he's doing, and sure enough, it doesn't really reveal as much to him. So again, it's based in real, tangible practices, and I appreciate that the people that made this movie did their research, both practice-wise in areas like this, but then also non-verbally to be able to amplify what they were creating, and it created a phenomenon. So many people love this movie. It is #1 on Netflix still to this day at the point of recording this video, and it's been out for weeks. It's just so well done.
Right.
Okay, how does this help me get my voice back?
As I said, to treat the part, we must understand the whole.
That's great and all, but I thought we were here just for your tonics.
Just give us the voice juice.
I know just the tonics you need.
So that wraps up that little scene there. And of course, for him, it worked out well for him because he got his money, he got to peddle his wares that were not honest in this scene. But for him, he did a phenomenal cold read, and it paid off for him. And that's what a lot of people are attracted to when learning about things like cold reads, is they want to be able to have that edge, and they want to use it to take advantage of people. It is not limited to taking advantage of people. If you want to be able to bond with people more quickly, this can be in sales, this can be in interpersonal relationships, what have you. Being able to use aspects of cold reads to better understand and show that you can connect with people is a useful tool. Now, that also being said, it can also be perceived as a little bit manipulative because you're using techniques in order to play off of a person's subconscious, so you have to use it morally. Don't use it in a way that is just to give yourself an upper edge. Use it in a way that supports the people around you. That's kind of my spin on things. If you want to use and learn things like cold reading, do so for the benefit of others and not just exclusively for yourself. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, we're about to get to some new characters in the movie, and oh boy.
Yes, look at all of those videos here. Let's bring us down.
Okay, cool. Look normal. Oh, yeah. Come on. Take your time. 왠지 두근대는 밤이야. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. 소리는 나. 달끝까지 달려가 볼까. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just right. 시공에 가로 엑셀에 발에 어울려. 모든 것이 특별해 너 완전 어울려. 우주서 원하던
Oh, hi.
You guys are so gross.
Oh, it's just so fun. It's so well done. Again, obviously, none of what we're emoting on the two faces is genuine, but it is parallel to that. The flushing, the tenseness, the nervous smiles, the intense gaze, all of these are based off of genuine nonverbal communication tells, but they're done so in such a theatrical and embellished way that it's more parallel than it is based in the same thing, if that makes sense to you. I adore how fun they make it and how nestled into the storyline they actually make it feel. Even though it obviously is a little pop out of extra embellishment, you don't feel removed from the emotional state of the scene, and that's wonderfully done by the animators and producers of this show. Again, just kudos to them.
너와 함께 하고 싶은 일들을 즐거운 모습 보고 이 Watch yourself.
Okay, so obviously during this time, this really highlights it. I had to remove a lot of the music from this, again, to hopefully avoid as much of the copyright rigmarole that I have to go through. But in removing the music, you're able to focus on some of the more psychological aspects of it, or the physiological aspects of it for the nonverbal side of things. But even with that, the pacing of it, it feels, while orchestrated, it doesn't have the disconnected, desynchronized tempo to it that you would find in, for instance, Snow White that we watched earlier, where it felt unnatural. This one felt more comedic, but still natural. Regardless, we're now going to get into some more actual intense emotional states here, so we could see what they actually can animate when it's based off of and really sticking closely to reality, as opposed to these more fun or cartoon-esque animation styles that we've seen in the past. So let's watch this. This is a more serious part of the movie. Again, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, go watch that. This is, yeah, obviously.
What? How are you here? You were just on stage. That wasn't you? Oh, thank goodness.
So during this time that Rumi's feeling panicked, you could see her eyes darting a lot based off of natural physiological responses. And you could also see her blinking increase as well, increase in cognitive load. And then you can hear her breathing more quickly, and they animate that as well with the movements of her shoulders and whatnot. All of this is strictly based off of reality, not the cartoonized or embellished or fun stylistic choices that they made in the past. They want this to sit heavily. They want it to hit more genuinely than those areas of more lighthearted fun in the past. And they do so well, and it's only going to continue to go down that pathway of genuine, sticking close to reality nonverbal communication.
No. How do you have patterns? These were supposed to be gone. You were never supposed to see.
You were hiding this from us this whole time?
No, I have a plan to erase them. Gino was supposed to... he was...
Gino? You're working with him?
No! I was using him to fix all this, to fix me, so we could all do our duty. We could all be strong, be together.
How could we be together if we can't tell your lies from your truths, Rumi? I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true.
Mira, no! Didn't you see? See the gold? We're so close!
Rumi's nonverbal communication, not just her face, we've talked about that. The rest of her nonverbal communication, again, is doing so well. Her body's language is doing so well in this. You see a lot of grasping with her hands. This is desperation. You could see that come out in genuine instances of intense turmoil, or when somebody's feeling desperate, that grasping will come in. It can be smaller movements. It can be to the full extent that she's doing, where it feels like she's grabbing at things. Along with that, you see her hunched in and closed in very small. That defensive nonverbal communication is based off of insecurity and fear. You start to hunch in and close in on yourself like that when you're feeling at risk, or you feel like there's a perceived threat around you. And that's based evolutionarily off of wanting to protect the vulnerable areas of your body and also seem less of a target to whatever is around you. In this case, it's a psychological stimulant that she's closing herself off to. In the past, it would be a physical one. If you saw an animal attacking your response is to close in and protect yourself. Their characters, while fully animated, every single movement is intentionally created by the animator. It still feels like a natural emotional state because they understand what the body's movements are supposed to do during that time, and they might amplify it ever so slightly for the sake of the movie, which is common in any movie. It's not just animation, it's in acting and especially like stage acting as well. But that slight embellishment of the very natural movements make us feel like this is an authentic representation of what they're feeling here. It's well done.
No, don't leave. Don't leave. I can still fix it. Zoe, please.
Throughout the facial expressions, again, synchronized nonverbal communication, again, orchestrated, but done so in the nuance that it demands. It wasn't just everybody looks so cute. There's the messy nonverbal body movements that are involved in this, and they do so in a way that helps us feel the story. Even though it's animated, even though it's not real people that we're looking at, we still feel and we can still connect to that so well.
How could you do this?
It was all a lie.
It was real. What we had was real. I know it was.
The things I said, I just needed you to trust me. That's all.
No.
So from Rumi's side of things, we're seeing some of the glabella activity pushing upwards as well as the drawing in and together. So if it's just the drawing in together, anger, scorn, frustration, disgust, that vein of emotion, it's more purely negative. As you see that glabella start to push upwards as well, then we're starting to get into desperation or fear or sadness. So being able to see Rumi present both of those. We're seeing and hearing the anger, but we're also seeing and hearing the fear and the sadness all blended together. That makes a complex representation of that character, which is more true to real life. It's very rare to just see one stagnant expression on a person's face. In fact, if you see that one stagnant expression on a person's face regularly, the chances are it's faked because emotions are complex. They're continually evolving and changing and shifting as a person's thought process also evolves and shifts around. So seeing that in animation is, I mean, again, just good job.
That's all.
No, I know your story. You were a good person and you still are. You just made a mistake.
I left them! That's right. I lied to you. I only made a deal with Kima to get myself out of their miserable life. I left them.
But that's not all you are. This is just your demon talking. You have to fight it.
That's not how it works!
Yes, it is!
Listen to yourself. Is it working?
Obviously, very intense scene there. From his side of things, when he turns around initially, you see his eyes are glowing and everything. And the expression is pure anger, pure rage. It's based off of just reflex, emotional reflex to that stimulation. He's feeling at risk, and that's a live wire kind of thing. So we see that. But then as he's there, we're noticing a few things. His eyes are constricted. That does make sense in points of emergent or stressful situations like that, to see a person's eyes constrict that way. There's a whole slew of psychological reasons behind that constricting of the eyes, but as we're watching it, it just makes us feel like it's this feral, intense, angry emotion that's happening from him. That's why. But then as that emotion develops, again, emotions are not basic, they're complex. As it develops across his face, you could see his eyebrows start to move. Instead of being angry, they start to go upwards, and then you start to see the tears and the complexity around that. And then on Rumi's side, obviously, she has more anger and the fear and everything, and it kind of crescendos into that area where they're yelling at each other a little bit. There is resolution and whatnot in the movie. Go watch it if you haven't already, but now we're about to see a little ending wrap-up clip here to kind of tie off this video with the bow.
Wow, this feels amazing.
We've been saying that for years.
Right? See what you've been missing?
Oh yeah, I want to come here every day over a 3-month hiatus.
Rumi, I'm so happy you didn't, die.
Wow, Zoe, way to be super literal. But same.
You guys just mean so much to me. I really don't
Obviously, there's a few more seconds left of this, but Again, ugly crying existent in animation is such a delight to me because the draw is when you're creating something to make it perfect, to make it not have any of the flaws of things or the weird asymmetrical portions and things. Like, you want it to be perfect, but that removes it from reality. So the fact that they do intentionally, individually frame in these ugly crying sequences, for instance, just again adds more tangibility to the movie itself from a nonverbal standpoint, not the storyline, not the scripting, not the colors, not anything like that. It's based off of the psychology. They do a really good job. Now we're about to wrap it up.
Couch, 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 couch. 3 months of couch.
Aw, look at them. They're so cute.
You know, I feel like we got a nice little break.
Yeah, I definitely feel recharged.
Me too. I thought I wanted couch, but I think couch can wait.
Hi, everyone.
Ruby! Oh my gosh,
Hi.
I'm so excited. You're the best.
No, you guys are the best.
And there we go. I had to cut it off after that. That's my little analysis, brief breakdown of K-pop Demon Hunters and why they did so well in all of the different avenues. I wanted to focus more on the body language and psychology today. If you do have any other requests or like things that you would like me to take a look at or analyze, it could be a good video like how this one was. It could be really awful ones like some of the ones that I have done and will be doing here on the channel. Let me know in the comments of this video. If you want to see these videos more regularly, hit subscribe. I should be uploading every Tuesday and Saturday, give or take. If you want to support, again, for videos like this that are almost certainly going to be claimed and blocked and all that other garbage, go ahead and head over to the memberships and the Patreon. That will help make these sorts of videos a little bit less stressful for me. Thank you in advance. If you don't get to do that or you don't have the ability to, I understand. Very much so. So regardless, thank you for watching. But without further ado, that's all that I've got for the day. My name is Logan and you have been oh so awesome as you always are. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.